just go live. We'll pretend they demanded it, and then.
Right, back by popular demand. It's the Famicom Dojo video game podcast.
Oh baby, it hasn't popped up on my alerts yet.
Oh,
there it is.
Video game podcast. Oh no, I'm hearing myself.
I don't. Baby, it hasn't popped. There we go.
Well, once you pop, the fun don't stop.
All right, we are, as they say, recording.
Do I need I think I need a hat.
I'm sorry, your box is still sitting here.
I'll get a different hat. You know what I mean?
You know, you got this one. Do you want a different hat?
No, I mean, I don't have that one right here right now.
Oh, I see.
What I'm saying. Look at you. You got the hat. You got the tie. You're looking so dapper. I'm just in this fleece. I feel really underdressed for the occasion that is.
I know. It's a special day in March. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna go get a hat. You just talk with them.
I'm gonna talk with them. How y'all doing today? So we're doing a double header tonight. We're gonna do the first two Boobs Watch the Tube podcasts in a while too. After this, so we had plans to do more. I think the last time we recorded for that was January 2024, and we had planned to do 2 of those. We only ended up doing 1 of them because the other one was season 2 of Good Omens, and if we do that again, we're going to have to address a few things. Because those few things affected the 3rd season of that show greatly. Mm-hmm. Shall we say? But Vinnk, I forgot to ask you if you had a pile of shame or future retro. Last time you thought about Full Throttle but changed your mind.
Ooh. I don't know. Maybe I should start teasing Unlimited Saga.
Okay.
Let's talk about Full. I like Full Throttle.
Hold on. Did you already talk about Unlimited Saga? Hold on.
Nope, never teased it.
Oh, Balatro was last time.
Yep.
Actually, it wasn't the last time. It was the previous to last time.
It is great that you have such a... You know what? I don't know if I'm going to wear this hat or
not. It fits, though, because I was going to say I'm kind of Green Bay Packard themed as it is. So it's fine. It's not really winter here anymore, though. Actually, there's a snowstorm coming tonight. Whatever. It's Wisconsin, man. Wisconsin in the springtime. All right. Okay, you got that. I got mine. I had an idea on how to bring it in.
Yeah.
I had an idea.
What was your idea?
Had you heard about the PS5 rental thing?
No.
So you don't know anything about it? I don't want to catch you off guard.
I know nothing. That's great. You can explain it to me.
Well, good. Well, I'm going to have to look it up now because I don't know how it works because I thought that rentals were not allowed in Japan. So I'm trying to figure out.
Look, rental games?
Systems. It's renting the system.
That's allowed.
Okay. But I guess you can get like PS Plus or PS Now or whatever it is and get games that way, maybe?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, rental is something that exists in Japan. It's just more regulated because the software publishers don't want to lose out on sales for things. But like the Neo Geo was originally a rental system.
Sure.
You couldn't buy one at first.
Okay, Geo, one of Japan's biggest video game retailers, has announced it will be launching a PS5 rental service starting February 28th. So it just started.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, all right. I don't have more detail than that. But I can look at the announcement, I guess. Hold on. So I figured I could bring that up, and then it's in Japanese.
That's fine.
I guess I could translate it. Here we go. Can I? Because everything appears to be images. Yeah. So it's not translated.
let's just start.
Let's just start.
We got a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, by the way, so I figured we'll segue and whatever. All right. All right. Let's. Where are the media assets? Okay, we will begin the countdown, and away we go. See you on the other side.
See ya.
Oh yeah. Hey Vinnk.
Hey. Oh gosh, you got the tie on. I'm feeling really underdressed.
Right on. And maybe the audio listeners are feeling blind. It's okay. You don't have to worry about it. Just take Vink's word for it.
Yeah. He's looking dapper. Just in your podcast listening mind, right now I want you to imagine a Sean, okay? There in a white void, just imagine a Sean. Now put the stats to dapper. Just whatever it's currently at in your head, raise it by 3 levels.
Oh my.
And then take your expectations and lower them.
That sounds right.
That's where we are.
Right. That's good.
Where we are.
Oh my goodness. How are you doing? A year older, I hear.
Oh yes, I am. Now officially. Because it was my birthday a couple of days ago, but like I could still kind of get away with it because I was like, I was born in America. It's not my birthday in America yet, but now
it's true.
Now, yep. I'm an old fogey.
Well, I mean, I'm feeling old because my kids told me recently that, like, Dad, it's really great that you're still up on all these new game consoles because we've been talking about the Switch 2 and everything, and they were excited to get one in the house, so we all have one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, am I supposed to like not be with it and just play Super Nintendo all the time or something? Yeah. Aww.
Yeah. But the thing is, it is one of the few things that I am up to date with. I mean, I guess television as well. I'm down with the Severance, like.
Oh man, that's so good.
Oh, good. Anyway,
so good. That's a different show. We can talk about that next time.
A lot of the things that people are into game wise, though, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I'm not down with the Fortnite. I'm not down with the.
Oh no, we were just talking about Fortnite. The kids and I, they dragged me into it. You see.
I see. Well, I got dragged into Minecraft, so that's hip. That's with it.
So would you see yourself ever taking advantage of this new PS5 rental service in Japan?
I mean, that's such a sign of the times, right?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, a console is something that you wouldn't like. The last time I rented a console was oh my goodness! I just realized what the last time I rented a console was. It was the Virtual Boy.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Virtual Boy. And they had like the must-see 3D, like the must-see TV, like must-see TV 3D campaign, and I rented it from Blockbuster. Because I don't think I ever rented an N64. I think we bought it pretty close to release. But I remember before we got our NES, we rented it several times.
Okay.
From IGA. Came in like a big like suitcase thing. Yeah, it was. But like that was because, at the time I don't know why. Because like the rental cost was not super cheap compared to the cost of the console, I think renting it for the weekend was like $10, but the console itself was only like $90. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like.
Yeah, I I was thinking to myself that like I might want to take advantage of this because, man, PS4s are huge and bulky, but I don't want to play a lot of games. Or, sorry, PS5s I mean are huge and bulky, and I don't really want to play a lot of games on one, so I don't really need to spend $700 on like a PS5 Pro or whatever, because I would probably just want to play The Last of Us Part 1. You know, yet again another refresh of the original game released over 20 years ago. No, 10 years ago? Sorry, 10 years ago. The TV show takes place 20 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
I scared myself. I'm so sorry, because that was a PS3 game originally.
It was.
But like, I don't know how this works. Like, do you have to like, can you rent the games too? Do you have to buy them? Can you do a PS Plus? Like, how does that part of it work?
Sure. Like that's like a perfect storm of all the things that I don't want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like it's, I'm a physical gamer in general, and I prefer buying games, but not even owning the hardware is like that's really a step too far. But I would imagine it's with like PS Plus or something like that, because I can't imagine people buying physical games for a system they don't own. But then again, I don't know. That seems Japan pretty much made like a game rental illegal, just from pressure from the software publishers. Which is interesting, because they do have CD rental, manga rental, pretty much anything except games. It's very, very.
Right.
I'm going to do an episode about this, by the way.
Yeah.
I wrote an article about it a long time ago for a magazine that went defunct before it ever got published. So it's just been sitting around. So, I should really do something with that, or maybe a podcast extra.
Ooh, I like that. Speaking of podcast extras, wait until the end of this podcast for a little announcement. But no, you did tickle my brain about, console rentals back in the day, because my parents didn't buy me one for years, right? Like the NES seemed like a fad. So like I go over to my friend's house and play it, and then we would rent one.
Sure.
And I think like you, my last rental was a Virtual Boy, because I think I got it like once, and then never again. But like I distinctly recall, the giant phone case to like pull the NES out and get it hooked up and stuff, and then we'd rent the games with it, because it was affordable back then.
Sure.
But nowadays I just buy everything and keep them. Like I even dug out. Well, we'll talk about it more later. But I still have it, and I dug out my Mario Paint box for reasons that we'll disclose later. But that's the kind of hoarder I am. But I got to tell you, it's getting harder and harder to get physical stuff, especially old physical stuff.
It is. It's getting very expensive, and like. Finding reliable hardware too can be a little tricky as things age, as we age.
I don't know what you mean. My Super Nintendo is looking real rough. It's yellowing in places, like it's a little dirty. It does not look fresh and new anymore. And
I'm kind of okay with that. Like, as long as it plays. Like, I've always seen the consoles as a mean to an end. And it is the thing that plays my games. I want the controller buttons to be responsive, but I really don't care what it aesthetically looks like, as long as it works well, And frankly, if it doesn't work well, then I can blame that when I do terrible at games on stream. It's the controller's fault. These buttons are stupid.
No. All right.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's really interesting, because Japan traditionally didn't have like rentals, because they wanted people to pay for the games and buy the games. But Japan made up for it by having an intensely active secondhand market.
Sure.
Which basically, for new releases, worked almost like a rental. So you could get your new Final Fantasy game. You take it, and if you can beat it like that first week you have it, you can sell it back and get like 90% of your money back.
That's nuts.
Well, maybe not not 90. Sorry, they'd sell it used for like 90% of the price, but you'd still get like a good chunk of it back, way more than half.
Okay.
So like the earlier the better, because especially if a game sold out, then used copies is the only way someone could get one. So it could be technically possible if it was a game that like sold out to get back the price you paid for it, because there might be a short window where the used stores are actually selling it for more than new prices if it sold out. But like these days with modern supply chains, it's pretty rare that something like that would happen. But it's not unheard of. So like rental made more sense in the United States, land of the get 35 cents back for your new release game, when you would bring it to GameStop with reward points, so like, so that made a lot more sense right there. But for a lot of Japanese people, and maybe less so now, but games were more of an ethereal thing. You didn't have to have a shelf of games behind you, because you would just sell and rebuy when you wanted to play. So there was much more of a flow going on. You didn't need to own the game, because they'd always kind of be available, and the longer you wait, the cheaper they are.
Right.
But now,
Nintendo games, at least not here.
Now that games are, becoming less and less available anywhere, there's much more sense in building up your own library. But because of it, the used game sphere is changing a lot in Japan. Should we talk about that?
We should talk about that, because something that's been on my mind is after just prior to the release of our last video, I had someone come up in the YouTube comments and say, hey, I'm thinking of selling all my Famicom stuff. I can't justify staying in this hobby anymore because it costs so much money. And rather than push back, I was like, well, there's NSO and there's other things you can do. You can get like modern hardware and have a pretty decent experience, I suppose. And they're like, well, I thought you'd be more upset about this. And I'm like, I'm just being realistic, because even this is what I used to do, right? Like the last time I was in Japan, 2011, and we went game shopping together.
That long? Oh my goodness!
Yeah. It was the last Tokyo Game Show that we both went to, and
the last time.
Yeah, like I grabbed a bunch of games for like 50 yen. Like 16-bit games and some Famicom ones and whatnot, and a few of them, like I was like, oh, I can get something like a Retron. Well, I don't know if that was a Retron at the time, but like I was thinking like I need to like get a translation of some kind or whatever. And the Retron can have language patches, so that's a way to get around the ridiculous prices of like Final Fantasy 3 or something.
Exactly.
In the States. But now, I think I asked you what game was it? It was the MSX version of Dracula.
Oh yeah.
Akamejo Dracula.
Yep, that's right. And I said like a loose cart's going to cost you about $100. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, MSX games in general are just really expensive these days. They just But that one specifically, because of its historical nature, people really want that one. Yeah.
So has it been that bad in Japan like it is here, with the prices going up, or?
I mean, maybe let's go back a little bit and talk about when I first came to Japan.
Okay.
It was a freaking wonderland, is what it was. It was a wonderland. I could go to these shops and I could pick up like a bag of loose carts for like $100. Like I would go shopping all the time. And I remember when I first came, I came during the PlayStation 2 generation, near the end of it. Yep. And at the time, the stores were like oh, we need to get rid of all these PlayStation 1 games to make room for it. And like pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
common PlayStation 1 titles, like they had these huge shelves of games, and it would be like, take any three of these, 3 for $5. And like I picked up so many games. I mean, they were common. It was all common stuff. Of course, even back then, some games were rarer than others. I remember I wanted to get the Serial Experiments Lane game for PlayStation.
Oh, sure.
Because that's what the anime is based off. Actually, the game is the first media.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, I believe that was the thing. I don't know. I still haven't played it, but I was asking.
Oh, no.
I was asking around for the stores, and again, this is in 2004 or whatever. Right. Maybe even earlier. Maybe when I was in Nagasaki. I don't remember. But anyway, and I was asking. They're like, we don't have it, but we could get it for you. But it would be $90. And I'm like, $90?
Oh.
PlayStation game? No way! And it's like, and now, it's like $1,000 or something like that.
No.
Like,
oh God.
So I've just decided that like I'm probably never going to play it. And even if I would have bought it, I don't know if I would have played it. It's just it just kind of wanted to have it,
Right. No, I hear you.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was just wonderful back then. The cartridges were so cheap, and the quality was good. And like you'd go to a place called Hard Off, which is the classic. Everybody knows about that. And like they had the junk bins where they had tons of games for like 64 yen each. That's the equivalent now of about 50 cents. And they worked. They were good. They were maybe not the most aesthetically pleasing, but they all worked, and so it was almost a joke that they called them junk, because it was basically like the stuff that wasn't worth their time to individually test and price.
Oh, okay.
And like, but now it's junk. Like it's junk. And like that's how things have changed. Like now that bin starts around $3, which is still cheap. It's still cheap, but the stuff in it is like faded mahjong cartridges and like
yeah,
and like copies of Popeye without a label and things like that. It's like it's not
kind of like here.
It's been picked over a lot. It's really, really been picked over a lot. And I've been away from the States for a long time, and the last time I went game shopping was with you in the States.
Yep.
And like the prices were a lot higher than I'd remembered. Do you remember you picked me up that copy of Chibi Robo, right? At like local.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for that? It was like you paid like 15 or something. Like
no, because it's a Nintendo game, right? I mean, it's not a Nintendo game, but it was still. Well, I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore.
You didn't, because I would have.
More than that.
Maybe it might have been 20. Might have been.
Yeah, it might have been 20.
It was not a lot, but like that's a more than $100 game now.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably have a freaking like gold mine laying around here now, and cartridges and discs and whatnot. It's crazy.
It's gotten so out of hand, and like that's because it's a speculative market now. People are just buying up stuff that they have no intention of playing or putting in their collection, but just holding on to see if it increases with value. Like,
no, I want to play them.
I know.
Oh.
Games have become a meme coin. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, maybe the first meme coin. Well, I know it was comic books.
Yeah.
But
at the same time, like, Japan is not what it was, but there are still deals to be had.
Sure.
But here's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Here's what you got to do. And now you're visiting Japan next year, right?
Yep.
You're
coming for the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, whatever.
And to see you too. Yeah,
whatever. Coming for the cherry blossoms. Oh, look, cherry blossoms next to this game store. Yeah, whatever. Oh, high and mighty. No, I know. What am I, the Queen of England?
I mean, apart from going to Canada, my kids haven't really been abroad at all. So, like, this is a family trip. This isn't like a just me trip. This is like everyone's.
Some of mine haven't. Well, one of mine.
That's true. That's true. So one of them wasn't even born yet. Yeah.
In like 140 days or something from now. It's coming up. It's coming up.
Very excited.
Very excited about it. If they don't keep changing my flights around.
Oh no.
Get emails all the time. It's like, this flight's been changed. Okay, it's only off by 15 minutes, I guess. It's a shorter connection, but we should be okay. You know.
I mean, hopefully all this stuff with the FAA should settle down by then too. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't. Sorry. Yeah. I'm also concerned about that, but I have longer to wait.
But anyway, so we gotta do some game shopping. But like,
yeah.
The standard tourist thing, though, is you want to go to Tokyo, you want to go to, you want to go to Akihabara, you want to like hit those places, and you should, just to see it. You know what I mean? Yep. But treat it like a museum more than.
I'm gonna have to, because I'm not gonna have the money to buy anything.
Well, it's just that the prices are. Like, the novelty is that it's there. Does that make sense? The novelty is that you could pick it up, but like,
yeah, I can't believe I found this. Wow! And then you leave it like it's a flower on the side of the road.
The prices now are like more so than like what you could buy them for online, and that's the thing that's really hurt the Japanese stores. Is like, they know what they have now, and that's the difference.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Like, I mean, when we were shopping in Tokyo in Akiba, they knew what they had then, but it wasn't so valuable. But there were all these like what they call recycle shops, or the little countryside hard off or book offs, and they kind of didn't know exactly what they had. Do you know what I mean? Like, often you could find a deal, like something slipped through the cracks. Like, this shouldn't be $5. I'm gonna buy this before someone notices, but like, it's just, you don't see that so much anymore, because now when a shop gets games in, they're gonna look up the prices right away, and like, they're gonna be price. And again, Japan prices are not as high as US prices, especially for some of the long sought after games. Like, you can still find a loose Chrono Trigger here for under $15. You know what I mean?
That was one of my 50 yen games, and I got a translation patch for it.
Yeah, that used to be a game that they had so many copies of. They were just, they're like, oh, you bought a new controller. Would you like 3 Chrono Triggers to go with it?
Yeah, right. Maybe you can use them to display the controller.
Yeah, I mean, like, they'd be like, they're like, can we buy that Chrono Trigger? I guess we're kind of using it to hold up the shelf.
You want to pay money for that?
I guess.
I don't. Okay.
But like, it really used to be that way, and like, I've been very surprised by certain titles which have really risen in price. There used to be a time where there's a game called Captain Rainbow. It's by Skip. It's that, like, the B characters from the Famicom and things like it stars like Birdo and like Little Mac and things like, it's just all like the side characters having a little adventure game. It's very cool. It's very interesting. Never got released outside of Japan. And it flopped hard. So there were copies of it that were available for like literally like $3 for a long time. And now it's like a $30 game.
Huh.
Like, it's gone up a lot because of the internet, because people have been like rediscovering this, and like, it used to be plentiful and stores wanted to get rid of it, but now people are not trading it in anymore. They're keeping it. They're and people are putting them online and things like that. So again, games are a speculative market.
Dang it.
Oh, yeah. It's just, yeah, I don't want to be all down because whereas it's not like it used to be, there are still deals to be found, and there is still fun to be had. Like, as I said, go to Super Potato and see what they have, because you're gonna like a display of Game and Watches and stuff like that. It's just fun. It's just fun to go to these stores and look in the display case, and like see some of these like rarities, things like that, the laser active games,
All right,
things like that. It's fun. It's super fun, and it's also, it's not just fun, but like you can treat it almost like a museum exhibits and stuff like that. And so these stores really, some of the stuff in the display cases are priced at they actually, I this is my speculation, but I feel that they're priced in such a way that they hope no one ever buys them. Because
sure.
One of the best commercials I ever saw when I was young, and it stuck with me, and I've been looking for it on YouTube, and I have not been able to find it. It was an ad for the Yellow Pages, the phone book. It was just an ad for advertising in the Yellow Pages. That's how old this ad was. But there was in it there was like a store called Ed's Rug, or whatever, and basically the person from the Yellow Pages is a fake interview. They're like, Ed, why don't you advertise in the Yellow Pages? And he goes, well, Ed's Rug doesn't advertise in the Yellow Pages because we only have the one rug, and if someone bought it, then there'd be no Ed's Rug. And it's like, and when I think about the Super Potato display, like they've got that old Mega Man cartridge, and it's been there since I first went to Super Potato in 2001. It's been there, and they just keep raising the price. But I feel like if someone actually ever buys it, they're gonna be like, could you not to see this? That's why people come, so like then there'll be no Ed's Rug, so it's like
so you're saying if I scrape together $3,000 to buy a 64 DD, they're going to be like, please don't. we'll pay you to go away.
I mean, maybe there's enough of those to go around. You know what I mean? But Super Potato makes tons of money off tourists because people want to have said they bought something there.
Right.
Right. And there's a bunch of like vlogger. I'm going to take this hat off. I'm actually very hot. Oh wow, I have way less.
I'm in my basement and I'm cold because it's winter here. I mean, it's winter there too, but it's it's Japan winter. Yeah. It's Kyushu winter.
Not as bad. It's not as bad. But anyway, but people will buy stuff just to, and they'll make their little videos and stuff. Although it's getting much harder to make a YouTube video of like game shopping and stuff like that because of all the nuisance streamers who are ruining Japan. Just absolutely. So there's a lot of stores have put up signs like "Do not record in here."
Oh,
I don't know if you've been following all that, but there's like Ice Biden and Johnny Somalian. There's all these Americans and British people who have come there, and they record these like nuisance videos where they'll like play loud, obnoxious music, or they will. Well, one of them recently was like attacking random people, like throwing balls at like people who were just like going to work, like ice chunks and stuff like that, or like just. Or the person who like made a YouTube video about riding the train for free by like hiding in the bathroom when the train conductor comes, and then they post that. Or like, what was the one someone called like World of T-shirts was filming himself on a subway like licking the floor just to get the reactions of people around, and I'm like, stop it, some of us live here. Some of us live here.
No, thank you.
So much, because it's ruining it for everyone else. The reason they feel they can get away with stuff like that in Japan is because people are so polite here. People are so, but like the goodwill is going away. And it's ruining it for future tourists. It's ruining it for people who live here, because now, like, if I take out my phone and I want to film walking around, there's people who are going to assume that I'm gonna cause some trouble.
Okay. Yeah.
So like,
right.
you notice I don't have many Famicom Dojo on the go videos anymore, because like, I gotta be very careful with that now, because I don't want to be seen as trouble, especially not in the area that I live. So it's like, this is why we can't have nice things. But
yeah, that sucks. I am really sorry to hear that, because like, when we were I was there with you at Tokyo Game Show the last time, like we were in Friends or somewhere like that.
Yep.
and like,
film,
yeah,
right?
they didn't care. It was fine. There was like a guy cleaning in the background. It was great. And we bought things. We didn't buy everything that we showed off, but we bought things.
And they were very. I feel like those days are kind of done. I don't think, because before they were like, some foreigners with a camera, that's neat. Maybe they'll, maybe that will make some other people want to come to the store. But now I think they're just like, please, foreigners, don't come to our store and film, because it's just, it's really sad, because just this whole like nuisance streamer going for clout, just absolutely, I don't know. It actually brings my heart rate up thinking about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm angry, but I'm not that angry yet, because this is the first I've heard of it.
It's just it's really, really gotten out of hand, and people doing like things that would be illegal in their own country, but they kind of get away with it because like the Japanese people don't want to make a big deal out of it, but it's changing.
Right.
So like everywhere I go now, so I used to ride the trains, and I would be treated as anybody else. I would get my seat, I would sit down, and rarely did they ask to see my ticket to like verify that I was there. It was because there's so many people on the train, they can't ask everyone. And now I always get asked to see my ticket, because a bunch of other white people have ruined it. Like, they've just ruined it. And again, that's not a big deal. I'm fine to show them my ticket. But it's there's been a noticeable shift that now we're seen with suspicion.
I mean, fair is fair, right?
Fair is fair. Yeah, exactly. I don't find, if it was my job and I knew that all these people for clout were taking free train rides, I'd check the tickets too. You know what I mean? But
hey, Justin Mester's got a question here.
Okay. Do you guys ever see American NES consoles and games in Japanese shops? In my state, we have game shops that carry Famicom consoles and games and other import stuff. Yes. Especially in Tokyo, there's a few shops that kind of specialize in NES stuff. But occasionally, I see. I've bought several carts in the United States that were, but like. They're often priced weirdly, because the shops very rarely know what they have. So sometimes they're way too cheap, and I always buy those. Right. And sometimes they're oddly expensive for very common games. What did I get? Hold on. Let me pull up a couple that I've got.
What people came for? The Vinnk posterior.
Yep. So like these are some of. I think these are all ones I got in Japan. Some of these I might have gotten in the States, but like I got a Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Because this game never came out in Japan. So that's why you'll see it. Sure. Because anything that didn't come out in Japan, just like a lot of the games like Famicom games or whatever that didn't come out on the NES are going to be the ones that Japanese people would have imported, you know. But yeah, I got this copy of Toy Story for like I think like $4.
Okay.
Because the store was like they just had a big what did I get? The banana orange like Donkey Kong 64 cartridge. I got it for like $10. But there was like a big sticker on it going, "This doesn't work." And I'm like, this doesn't work in a Japanese console and nobody has an import N64. I think it's a game one of my friends before he left Japan sold. They probably bought it and they're like, this doesn't work. So it was really cheap. What else did I get? I got a Final Fantasy Mystic Quest for $7. I got this Monopoly for just a couple of bucks. I got like a US version of Populous. It's still got the Japanese sticker on, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like occasionally they can be found. I got a boxed copy of Liberty or Death. That's the like American historical simulation game, or whatever, for like $10. And that's something that a boxed one in the States would probably sell for over $100. You know, and so when I see them, I often buy them, and one of the most common import games you'll see is Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars for the Nintendo DS. Because the Grand Theft Auto series has a lot of dedicated fans, but that is one of the few titles that never came out in Japan.
Wow.
So so tons of people imported that one. And so you see copies of it around. I feel like maybe some of the other versions, like the remade versions, did come out in Japan. I don't know, maybe the PSP one. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's one you often see. A lot of the games that just like were banned or heavily changed in Japan, you can find US versions.
Okay. You reminded me of something, and I need a couple of seconds to go grab it. So, entertain the audience. I'll be right back.
All right, back to the butt. All right. Oh, there we go. There. Oh, gotta reach and grab something here. No. Oh my goodness! I just looked at the frame. That's a bit explicit. So, podcast listeners, you got an advantage here. Your stream is butt free. Now, one of the things that is interesting is when I used to buy games in Japan, the condition was often really, really like pristine. And you knew that like, unless something was labeled junk, it was going to be in really good condition. So you'd buy a game and it'd be fairly cheap, but it would always have, the full manual in it. It would, the disc would be in like perfect condition. It was often tested. But I've noticed like, so I was buying from, I think it was Suruga online, and the game didn't have any it was the regular price game. It didn't say anything about there being damage or whatever. So I got this what is it, One Piece Pirates Carnival game. And now aesthetically on the outside it looks quite good. But when I opened it up, first of all, there was no manual, and that's okay. Sometimes they don't have manuals, but more so than that, the game inside it. Can you see this? It was a Wii game, a totally different game, One Piece Unlimited Cruise. And because I ordered it online, there's no point in returning it, because the game was only like $6, and if I pay to ship it back and do all it, it's not even worth getting my money back. And so yeah, so and that's new. When I first started, when I used to buy games online, they would always be in very, very good condition, but now it really, really differs, because I think just because they're doing so much bulk, that unless it's a fairly expensive game, a lot of the time they're not checking, and they no longer guarantee manuals when you buy a game. They just now, if I contacted Suruga, they would definitely take this back. But again, I would have to mail it back and go through a whole rigmarole. So my warning to people who are buying the games, because Suruga does ship internationally, be careful, because for to do an international refund, I mean, you'd be paying way more than the games themselves. So
yeah.
what I'm saying is, their prices are really good, so go ahead and buy, but be aware that you might not get exactly what you bargained for, which is sad, because it used to be that there'd be this consistent quality. That's why I prefer not to buy online. I like to go to the shops themselves, because first of all, aesthetically, you can see at least the outside. You usually can't open them. They're usually shrink wrapped, but they give me when I get my receipt, I've got a number of days to return the games if anything is wrong with them. And I've taken advantage of that, because again, the quality hasn't been as consistent as usually have. But if any disc doesn't work or whatever, but at this point also, a lot of places do not guarantee the manual anymore, and a lot of them will not label if the manual is missing. It used to always be labeled, like, manual is missing, price has been brought down for that. So, it's been changing over the years. So, Sean, when we go game shopping, what we're going to do is we're going to get the games, and like, as much as I'm sure you want to do like a haul video when you get back, I would say that it's best to open everything up while you're there, and we'll make sure that everything looks okay, because we can take stuff back still.
Okay.
And because the stores are really good about accepting returns, if you do it within a certain number of days. So like, as much as it would be really fun to like unwrap and open everything you could do a stream right there where you like, this is what I got today, and then like, oh, this one isn't in great condition, I'll return that.
Sure. Yeah, that's good information to share for people who need to know about that, because I didn't know about that. So
and Cheesemeister also shares that most reputable stores will also, if you ask, allow you to open it up right at the counter. And my local book off, they know that I'm me. so when they come, when they're scanning the games, they unwrap it right there, and they ask me, is this okay with each game, or whatever. And when I see that there's like no manual, or the disc is kind of scratched, I'll say, oh, not that one. They've been fantastic. And I think I think anyone who comes with a bunch of games to the counter, they're going to do that for, because they're like, okay, this is someone who's, who cares, so yeah, if you have the level of Japanese to ask for that, but if you're shopping in Tokyo, like, you can probably say it in English. A lot of these staff are prepared to deal with foreign customers.
I think, well, this was 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
But I had a similar problem where it was also hardware, right? Like, it was a new Game Boy SP.
Sure.
And there was a very annoying dead pixel on, but I didn't really have the language to explain it. So if there was something in or wrong with the screen, can I get this replaced? I had the receipt.
Sure.
I bought it. I played it for a bit at the hotel, because I was in Tokyo too. This was before I went over to Nagasaki. And I did get the exchange eventually, but it was very difficult to explain myself.
Yeah. But. And I mean, that's definitely part of the, I've been in Japan long enough whereas I still feel that my Japanese skill is woefully lacking, but I can hack and slash my way through making my point known. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, and like, the thing is, like, and I want to point this out too, is like, especially for tourists in Japan, it's still at this point at least, they know you don't know the language, and they're gonna be okay with that as long as you are polite.
Sure.
Does that make, like, if you smile and you try your best, you know, people are gonna want to help you. But if you're rude or annoying or loud or disruptive, you're not going to get very far in Japan. Like, before, people would laugh it off like, oh, it's a different culture. But now they're like, no, we don't have time for this, you know?
Yeah, I'm a little worried about taking my kids because, like, they're pretty rowdy by American standards. So I gotta.
Kids kind of get a bit of a pass. Kids get a bit of a pass, you know.
Okay, well, that's good to know. All right, I'm gonna save what I have here.
Okay.
For after, because we need to move on to Pile of Shame Future Retro.
Let's do it.
Vinnk, what do you got?
Well, now this is maybe not a controversial choice, but like, I was surprised by the reactions I got when I posted about it. But I have here Unlimited Saga, showing that this is not just a Japanese problem, but I bought it from Amazon, and it was what is it called, like Amazon refurbished or like Amazon tested or whatever. Like, it's supposed to be like, it's a used game, but Amazon guarantees it, blah 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 blah, no manual. The disc is in the disc is in the system right now.
Sure.
But the case is in pretty good condition. The disc is good. It looks like it's been resurfaced. But like, I paid like, I think $20 for it, but then the shipping was like an additional $15, so it was not super cheap, but like, I think it was a fairly good deal. And I guess I don't really care about the manual too much. But at the same time, I would have liked to have known there was no manual. That would have been like nice.
Right.
Like, then I wouldn't. Then I'm like, okay, that price seems fair for a game without a manual, and then I wouldn't be super disappointed. But anyway, so I said I'm going to play this, and the reactions were very interesting because some people are like, that is the worst game ever made. You will feel nothing but pain. And other people are like, that's my favorite game. So it's like, there's like no in between. There's very few people who are like, there's very few people who are like, that game was okay. Like, there's people who love it and there's people who hate it.
Oh no.
But some of the people who love it, I have somewhat similar gaming tastes with, and I'm very forgiving of a certain amount of jank. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
So like, I'm very I'm very I don't know. I put it in to see that it worked, and it's one of those games with like multiple paths. You choose a character at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And this character here is the one voiced by our friend. So,
our friend signed my tie.
Your friend signed our tie. Oh, that's great. I am talking, of course, of the fantastic Tiffany Grant, the voice of Asuka from Evangelion, and from whoever this character is.
We'll find out.
The thing is, I didn't want to play too much because I wanted my reactions on stream to be genuine. I wanted to test to make sure the disc worked, because if it didn't, I'm definitely returning this. But I haven't played beyond that. So So I'm excited. I'm excited to play it and maybe get someone on the podcast to talk about voice acting. So
who could that be? We'll figure it out.
Anyway,
maybe Cam Clark.
Yeah. Maybe. Do you know Cam Clark? Can we get?
No.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm excited to play it because it's I haven't really I've never really gone into that series at all. It's one that I had known existed, but again, it's had very, very mixed thoughts. So some people really dig it. Like there's some YouTubers who like do streams dedicated to doing all the paths or whatever, because when I was trying to find some footage originally, and there's other people who have like, this is the worst RPG on the PlayStation 2. So like,
oh no.
And there doesn't seem to be much in between, so I'm gonna see. I'm really, really intrigued, because some of those incredibly decisive games have turned out to be my favorite games, and some of those incredibly decisive games really do live up to their reputation. So I'm stoked. So that's my pile of shame, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mine is one I've finished, but not to the degree I'd like to finish it. Mine is Super Mario World.
Wait, this can't be new for you. Hidden gems, Super Mario World.
No. There's something you can do with this game that I've never done before.
Are you talking about a numerical set of, well, let's just, it's
goals, exits? I'm not sure which to call them. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about.
Working on this for so long.
I know. I think I wrote a script for this 2014. I recorded all of my stuff for it. At the time, the plan was to just like go over some of the more difficult ones.
Sure.
Now YouTube has changed a lot.
Yeah.
And like I never went through the process of actually doing any of it.
Yeah.
I think I really wanted to like actually go through the whole game, and I just every fall comes around, I'm like, oh, I should really do that. And what I'm referring to is if you get all 96 goals or exits in the game, it'll turn into this autumn like themed thing on the main menu screen, and I think in the game too, right? I've never seen it.
I have seen it.
Okay.
And here is how I've seen it. And this is interesting. I saw it because I rented it. And one of the saves. So I played it. I'm like, what is this? So this is back in the pre-internet days. Someone who had rented the game in the amount of time that they rented it had unlocked that, which is actually really interesting.
Okay, hold on. The chat's exploding right now.
Oh yeah? Okay, hold on.
Satoshi says there's only 72 levels, and that's true, but there's multiple ways to leave some of those levels. But Cheesemeister is saying that the game changes when you clear the special world.
Yeah, I thought that was all you needed to do.
Really? Not necessarily all the exits.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, I was impressed by the cartridge I got, but like, so since I've never done it myself, I do not know the exact criteria. But I remember putting it in and like, this is different. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was the 96 thing because I had like 92 or 94 on my childhood cartridge. I bet you that battery is dead. I hope I stuck it into my Retron to save that save. But I couldn't, assuming it was just the 96, I think I figured out finally why I never got 96, even though I scanned the entire game. It's like, all the paths are there, all the dots are there. Why didn't I do it? Turns out when you're in the star world, one of the exits is the one that takes you back to one of the stars. And if you don't do all of those count.
Oh.
So I don't think I took at least 2, maybe up to 4 of the normal exits through those stages.
So if you don't do it the first time, you can't go back and do it
You
later?
can.
Oh, you can.
I just didn't know how to find it, so I was going through normally, and I've been taking notes of all the different exits, and like I'm trying to find the ones that'll be the most interesting to show. I might show them all. I mean, it's a very new world in YouTube where people will watch a 3-hour video now, so I might have to make one. But it's not on my plan of things to do, so I'm just like kind of like piecemealing it out right now.
Okay.
But friend of the show, Charlie Etheridge Nunn of Casual Trek, was also playing it recently.
Okay.
A bit of kismet there, but it was nice to, like, we were doing it together, but we were have someone else to kind of go through it with and chat with a little bit. But yeah, so apparently I've misunderstood this entire time, and I should redirect my efforts. Apparently, I didn't have to wait 11 years to talk about this because I was wrong the entire time. This is why we have you guys.
Yep.
The reward for clearing all 96 exits is slightly less pronounced, says Cheesemeister.
Yeah,
be less vague.
It's Yoshi on the castle roof.
Oh, is that it?
No.
That's, what? That's 64.
About Nintendo.
That's Mario 64. I saw a video about how like Luigi is actually in Mario 64 after all. It's wild. Anyway.
Yeah.
He's not, but he is. But he's not. But he is.
I just made fun of you a moment ago for rediscovering Mario World, saying, "Have you never played it?" But I gotta make a confession that I've really started to get into Yoshi's Island for the first time, like as of a couple weeks ago.
That's fine because that game is so annoying.
But no, that's what I always thought too. Have you played it recently?
Not recently, but at the time I was like, "Oh, I can't stand this."
I know. I rented it. Crying Baby Mario. Noped out of it for 30 years.
Yeah. Yep.
And now, try it again. It's
all right.
Gorgeous.
All right.
It is a gorgeous game.
I have multiple ways to play this, and I've been thinking about it because it's like right next to Mario World on NSO, right? So I'm like, I should try it again. I got I was just doing a game testing stream, and I'm like, there's a Yoshi's Island. I'll test it later off stream, and then like Satoshi was in there, and he's like, no, do it now, play it, and I'm like, I don't like this game, but it was really fun, and I believe you
too. It's like
I believe you. Just don't suck at dropping Baby Mario, and it's fine, right?
Yeah, as long as you never lose.
I realized playing Mario World again that it's kind of like the inverse of the first game, where it's like Yoshi will run away crying if he gets hit. So it's like the same thing. It's like they have this codependent relationship, I guess.
Yeah. I would if NSO really did care, they would make a mod that made Mario not cry, and then they'd call it the Yoshi's Island SP version, and all the only change at all is that Mario doesn't cry.
I don't want to get into it too much because there were people in our comments recently who were very upset that we did not look kindly upon pirating. But whatever.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It was like I personally offended them by not pirating. It was very, very weird. And you go ahead, you emulate what you want, but we're trying to show a way you can do it without hacking your system, and that was a bridge too far.
Yeah. So, all right. So to back up a little bit, we released a new video, you guys.
We released a new video,
and I was just hoping to get 1,000 views, before a month or a year went by, and now it's like a top 20 Famicom Dojo video, and it's still climbing.
You know why?
Why? No, I have no idea why. What did I do right?
I'm not in the video.
That's not the reason. That's not the reason.
Finally, a Famicom Dojo video with 99% less Vinnk. Yeah, so
we are indeed better taped. No, I got ideas. I got lots of ideas that include you, so we'll have to talk about them at some point. But we did an update to our original video about how to download the Famicom outside of the Japanese region, because now there's a lot more games. There's the expansion pack. Although we did learn something through releasing this. Not just about better editing and pacing and dialogue and not silly asides, not having 2 intros. All of that. People have long told us that this method doesn't work anymore, which isn't true. But we did find from German users that the Famicom is specifically locked for them due to their IP address and not from their console region.
Yes, that was very interesting because the back and forth in the comments was really, I mean, other than the like, if you don't pirate your what were we called? We were called major cope bro or something like that.
Like,
whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Cope was used. Cope is a 4-letter word, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like but anyway.
Yeah.
But some of the actual conversation with people who were like really trying to interact with it was so interesting. It was really, I really enjoyed that. Anyway,
it's hard to live up to, but we're gonna try. We got another video coming out. Well, if you're hitting on the audio version, it's already out. But like if you're watching live, it'll be out tomorrow. About
Okay.
No, it's a brief little history. If you can see to my I still have the setup from when I was filming it. The tripod's still there.
There you go.
That's how quickly I put this one out. Because the Switch 2 is coming in exactly 29 days. Well, 28, 29 days.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the Nintendo Direct about it. But now that the mouse functionality is pretty much confirmed, we give you guys a little history of the mouse peripheral that Nintendo has had with it since the 90s, and hope that day one, it doesn't have to be day one, but any time really, that there are some classic games that they could use to play with it, and there are applications for recent games that they could patch in, plus anything new that they might want to make. So I'm hoping that it has some legs and has some value beyond the next month. Oh my goodness.
I'm hoping this one.
Mario Wario, yeah. It actually came with the mouse? Of course it would have to, wouldn't it?
There was 2 different versions, but this is the one that came with the mouse. And there was I think, and like, well, I have a couple different, I'm just seeing, I have a few different Mario mouses around. Mario Mice.
Mice, yeah.
I really want to do, I got like 5 or 6 Mario Paint cartridges, and I want to do a video where I just see what people had, just kind of like a mystery video. And it might be really disappointing. There might be
you never know.
But something like that, because I wanna go along with this whole thing. Also, do you remember several months back I went to a Pikmin event at the station, and I only took a few photos and a few very short videos, but I wonder if I could turn that into a video. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just get in front of a camera, talk about my experiences, pop a couple pictures up. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, but like that's something that I might put together, because I'm excited about this wave that Famicom Dojo is on right now. And upcoming, I'm going to the States this summer.
Woo!
And hopefully we can get a couple videos worth of content filmed while I'm there, so we can actually have some really nice new content for you. I don't want to say Dojo is back, but
don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. Yeah.
It has felt pretty good. I gotta admit.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can repeat it, or at least get close. My goals were much lower, so my goals are still low. Yep. We'll see if we get them. I only have 96 of them. That was a real quick. I wanted to go over, since we were talking about Famicom games and stuff. I bought this Hyperkin adapter, which is very shiny. There we go. I just like the way that this looks. Now Satoshi did some sleuthing and found there's a version of this form factor from a different company that doesn't have the audio expansion pins connected. But that's okay, because I also got this, knowing that there were going to be games that didn't fit this form factor. But this is also so tall that some of the taller games wouldn't fit in a toaster NES, which, the point is to use the expansion pins. So I guess Akumajo Densetsu is the only one I can really play, potentially. But the reason I got all that, it's way over there, is that I got a Retro Time NES hub, which has all this stuff built in. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Master writes, I got 96 goals, but Switch ain't one.
That's right, because it's Switch 2. Ooh. All right.
Switch to what? Okay.
We got another podcast to get to, which I'm going to try and drop the linky link in there.
Link it up.
But
talk about a TV show.
We haven't talked about a TV show in a while. Yep. Oh no, I can't even find it. Hold on. But I guess then until next time, Vinnk, the Dojo has a
hard time ending an episode. We always say we're going to go, but we keep going. So until next time, the Dojo has 96 exits.
Nice. All right.
Maybe on 97 we'll actually stop talking.
Never. All right. See you in the next one.
See ya.
Famicom Dojo.